Hey, I'm Zach. Today I'm going to show you how to make caramels. Alright, so first thing you're going to need is a cup of butter. So you'll want to have that kind of melted and whatnot. So go ahead and grab 2 sticks and throw them into your saucepan. Just like that. And let those melt down to where they're just barely liquid. Alright, so next up, add in your sugars. So 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. And 1 2/3 cups white sugar. Go ahead and use your wooden spoon and mix all this up real quick. Alright, next up is your corn syrup, and you have 1 cup of it. I just add it right in. Use a spatula to get all of it. Okay, so now we add our milks. We have a 3/4 cup of whole milk and 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Just go ahead and add those in with the rest of the ingredients. Here's the cream. And here's the milk. And make sure that you use the spatula to kind of get all the outside of that too. Alright, and last but not least, the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Just go ahead and add those in. Okay, so now everything kind of blended together. And I got my candy thermometer out here. We're going to wait till it gets to 238 degrees, stirring it occasionally. You can also, when you think it's done, you can drop it into a cold glass of water. I like the thermometer method a little bit better, but I'm sure you could YouTube either method and get a whole bunch of different answers. Go ahead and try whichever you like best, but I definitely like 238 degrees on that bad boy. So you just pin it to the side of your pan. Make sure that it's not touching the bottom. I like to keep it right in the middle of my goo. And yeah, this is about another hour long process here where you just kind of let it boil on itself. So it's been 45 minutes ish, and this is what we're looking at. We got a temperature of about 210 degrees. We gotta let it go to 238. So a little bit longer, but that's what it looks like. So we are approaching the 235 softball mark. This is what it looks like. It's definitely thick, and it's risen probably twice, maybe even 3 times the thickness and height of the original amount. It's definitely darker brown. I'm not worried that it's burnt or anything like that. It's just the way caramel goes. As you can see, there's probably, I don't know, let's call it 100 bubbles, maybe 1,000 bubbles if you count the tiny little ones. That's what you're looking for. Kind of like the top of a pancake when it's ready to flip. So we have approached the 238 degree mark fairly quickly now, but it's been about an hour or so, maybe a little over, and as you can see, I've turned up the heat to 5. I'm actually going to turn it up to 5.5 now because we've gotten it pretty warm for a while. All the sugars have dissolved. Everything's kind of just going to caramelize at this point, and we really just need to get it to that temperature so we can hold it there for another, I don't know, 2 minutes. Hold it at 238 for 2 minutes. That's a rule of thumb. You can go less, you can go more, but make sure it hits 238. Otherwise, you're not going to get the softball mark, and it'll be more like taffy than caramel. It'll be more, I don't know, not as close to fudge, I guess. That's probably a terrible analogy, but. And also, I probably only stirred this throughout the entire hour and a half total that we've done it. Maybe 4 or 5 times. I tried not to touch the bottom of the sides just to go with the fudge rules, but I really did just let it boil and do its own thing. Now that the caramel's down to about 200 degrees, we're going to go ahead and pour it into the 8x8 square pan that is already pre-greased. And you'll see the caramel fills this up pretty nice and thick, so you get a good thick piece of caramel. When it's cool, you can chop it up and eat it, and that's caramel. Okay, so today I'm also going to show you how to make fudge. So first off, you're going to need 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of heavy cream, and 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. All right here. Alright, so combine your sugar, your heavy cream, and your corn syrup and slowly heat and stir till it boils. So the fudge has now started to boil, so I quit stirring, and you just let it get to softball on your thermometer, which is about 238 degrees, and just kind of let it do its thing. Okay, so the fudge has probably been, I don't know, cooking for maybe 5 minutes. It's on low, and you can see how much higher it's already gotten, and you can see that it's already almost a softball. We want to let it go a little longer, so I might turn it down on this to the single low, just like that, and let it take its time a little bit. The more that evaporates, the more caramely and more like taffy it'll become. Okay, so it's been about half an hour-ish on the fudge. Somewhere in there, we're looking at 225 degrees, going to 238. This is what it looks like. Probably got 15 minutes to half hour left, somewhere in there. And then it'll be ready. Alright, so next up, since we're now at 238, I believe is the temperature. Yeah, 238 degrees. We're going to go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of butter. Just drop it right in. And let it melt into it. We got 1/3 cup of cocoa. Also just drop it in. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, which is right here. And also just drop that right in. Now when you stir it, make sure not to touch the sides, and turn off the heat. Alright, so we're all done here, and we just bought a bag. It's a 2-cup bag of nuts. They are walnuts, I believe. Yes, they're walnuts. So we're just going to drop them in, and we're going to use the whole bag. Just put them right in there. And stir them in. Make sure they get nice and coated with fudge. Alright, so now that everything is nice and coated, we're going to take it over here to a pan. It's 9 by 7, I believe, or something close to that. And just pour it right in. It's greased, so that'll come out easier. It does not look appetizing, but it's going to be good. Definitely make sure that you smooth it out and get into all the little grooves of the pan. Alright, so the fudge has been in the fridge for 20 minutes or so. It's pretty hard, but well, that's pretty much fudge. I'm going to try to get a good picture of it here. Can you see that? That's fudge. That's fudge. I'm going to go ahead and eat it. Oh, good.